everybody. So today we're here at Rotisserie Mums out in Mississauga, and we're here with Ash Ahmad. Right. Thanks very much, Ash, for being with us here. We're actually at Rotisserie Mums today, as you can see the sign behind us. So I wanted to introduce you to Ash and then be able to ask him a few questions so that you guys can know a lot about their restaurant and so forth. So let me start first by asking you, Ash, in terms of how did Rotisserie Mums actually start?
Well, Rotisserie Mums started back in the mid-90s in the eastern Quebec, more so in Quebec city area. Right. And predominantly we expanded into New Brunswick, Quebec, and Maine area in the US. And now we're coming into the Ontario region, and we're coming up with a new concept here. And that is, we have certain growth targets for the Ontario market. Right. And we just launched in February of this year, and we're doing very well so far.
Fantastic. No, I'm glad that we can come out to see your restaurant and everything as well. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what makes your restaurant special.
Okay. First of all, our restaurants are, our chicken is marinated. We have two concepts under one roof. We have more so like a fried chicken, as well as we have a rotisserie chicken under one roof, you know. So we feel that the market is changing. There's a market for more healthier choices like a rotisserie and all that. That is one of them. Plus, we marinate our chicken for 18 hours minimum, whether it's a fried or a rotisserie chicken, and that makes it pretty good and pretty. Our flavor seeps right through to the meat all the way to the bone, you know. So
that's fantastic. I know one of your slogans on your website is that you are the most tender in terms of your chicken and so forth. Tell us a little bit about what makes it so tender in terms of that.
Well, you see, when the chicken is marinated, see a lot of companies, what they're doing is they're just taking the chicken and putting a breading and this and that, frying on it. You know, we marinate it thoroughly, and when the marination goes right through the meat, it makes it very tender. You know, all the way. Plus, it gives you flavor all the way through. You know.
Fantastic. One other thing I noticed as well when I was looking at your website is that you actually say your chicken is all halal. Right. Maybe for some of our viewers who may not know what halal is and so forth, maybe you can explain a little bit about what that means.
Okay, see, halal is to Muslims what kosher is to Jews. That's basically what it is. And it's pretty much on the same principles, you know. What's been happening is with the Canadian market in general and GTA market in particular, there's a huge growth of Muslim population here. And there are estimates actually that by 2030, almost 7% of Canadian population would be a Muslim population. So it makes, it gives a huge opportunity for people to be part of a vertical market. Basically, it is a huge market. And what's been happening is a lot of mainstream restaurants, they've been tinkering with the idea of halal. What I mean is, because, you know, they'll buy a little bit of halal meat from somewhere and they'll cook it right side by side, which is a no-no for a halal perspective. Correct. And they call it halal, and the sauce is not halal, and this and that. So basically, what we believe that halal has become an industry right now, and we have to make sure there's no cross-contamination. So what we've done is we introduced these restaurants as halal restaurant, and we introduced a new concept, what we call it a just halal concept. That means anything in our halal restaurants would be halal.
I know for sure in terms of halal that the quality in terms of what you guys actually prepare is a lot better. I know the standards are a little bit higher and so on and so forth. So I think that is definitely a benefit for anybody, even if they are not Muslim and so forth as well. For sure, yeah. So that's a fantastic additional thing that you guys offer as well. Thank you. So the other thing I wanted to ask you is in terms of how would you describe your restaurant for people in terms of what style of restaurant is it? So what kind of people would you attract, that kind of thing?
Sure. Basically, what we've seen in this restaurant so far, and in Quebec, obviously, you know, we get all kind of segments of the population. See, our fried chicken is, you know, there's a particular market that would like that, and then the rotisserie chicken is, I would say, people who are a little bit older, people who are a little bit more health conscious, you know, they go for that, you know. Our restaurants fall into QSR, which are quick service restaurants, you know. We don't have a table service, but we have a nice areas where families could come, you know, and sit down and enjoy their meal, or they can take out and enjoy it at home.
Fantastic. I know that you guys are starting, as you've mentioned, to expand now into Ontario and so forth. Maybe you can tell us in terms of around the GTA kind of area, where are you guys opening up new restaurants so we can keep an eye out for them?
Sure. We have a restaurant open in Kingston, Ontario, but the Mississauga, this restaurant here on Dundas Street West. Okay. And we have already between 10 to 12 restaurants coming up. We have a restaurant coming up on Morningside and Kingston Road area. We have a restaurant coming up on Markham and Shepherd. We have a restaurant coming up in Hamilton on Main Street, right beside McMaster University. We have a couple of restaurants coming in Windsor. And we have a restaurant coming up in Heartland area in Mississauga. And we have some restaurants coming up in the Markham area in general, Highway 7 and McCowan areas.
Fantastic. I we want to keep an eye out for all of that. Fantastic. Thank you very much. So I just wanted to thank you very much for coming, letting us come to see your restaurant and so forth. And we're able to share it now with our community and so forth. If they wanted to be able to get in contact with your website and so forth, can you just give us what's your website address as well?
Sure. Website would be www.momsexpress, momsexpress.ca.
Fantastic. So thanks to all, everyone, for being able to join us here today as we talked with Ash. And hopefully this was helpful to you guys as well. Take care.